Okay, if there's just a couple of questions, if you'd like to ask the two of them, please do so, and then we'll have our closing responses. So please come up and have a question, just as I get the last few slides set up. Aren't they incredible?
Thank you for sharing your story. I just have a quick question about the medication, the lottery ticket. How much would that cost?
I actually took it into one of the pharmacies in Duncan, and I haven't had a response, so I'm still looking to see how much that's going to cost. I'd like to find out, how much that would all cost, but so far nobody's told me. But I'll keep trying.
Do you, is that for the 3-drug cocktail?
Yes.
Okay, because I go to the Lair Clinic in Vancouver and it's like $6,000 a month.
It actually works out to be about something like about $1,100 a week.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They just told me $6,000 a month.
And the way that our provincial government works is if patients have been previously treated with standard of care, they will not access again. It can only be treated once. So, but we're working on sending in special committee authorization to the provincial government for retreat. And what we're doing is we're putting on the special forms Victrellis, and we'll get it back and we send it back. And we are starting to have a few patients that we are able to access. As I mentioned earlier today, we're only accessing the add-on drug through third-party coverage, but those patients also have to be naive, which would be able to get standard of care covered by the government. But we're getting close, and we're fighting. And I have right now, I have about 17, 18 patients waiting to go on to therapy. But we'll get there. So we just need to push a little harder. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you both of you for your stories. Serge, I was wondering if I could ask you, do you have any idea how long you may have had Hep C before you had serious issues happening to you?
Well, actually, yes. I contracted Hep C back in 1968 when I was a kid. In those days, they basically told me there's nothing we can do. It'll be dormant. If you take care of yourself, you'll be fine. If not, it'll come back. And I was too young to, and I was using drugs. And I had a relapse, and then I cleaned up my act. And I completely, if you can believe this, I completely forgot. It was just no symptoms, no nothing. It was years down the road, and fortunately, my wife never contracted it. Both my kids have been tested, and they don't have it either. But in all honesty, it was like I really didn't know anymore. It was just forgotten, outside out of mind. And so, no, I've been Hep C positive since, I believe it was 68.
Also, would you mind letting us know how you're feeling after the transplant and taking a lot of medication?
Oh, the transplant, I am such a lucky guy. I was not in the hospital, not even 2 weeks. I swear to you, day 2, I'm walking around in a hospital like this because Dr. Yoshida is telling me, hey, you gotta, and I thought that they stitched me up too tight. I'd never be able to stand up straight. And being the advocate that I am, whenever I go to Vancouver, I go up to the transplant ward, and if there's anybody there that's having a hard time, I talk to them, because to hear from somebody who's been there can possibly make a little bit more difference than some doctor and nurse that they don't know what they're talking about, right? I didn't mean it that way. But anyway, it's that woman's liver again. So, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so very much, and
Okay.
thank you for your honesty, and we love you.
But, thank you. As far as the honesty, you know, I got a terrible memory, so it doesn't pay to lie. I won't remember a lie, and the truth, well, what I remember will be factual. So I speak from the heart. I never hid anything from my kids. They know, I mean, like, I speak to a group of nurses at university, third-year Bachelor in Science, about my experience, and the first thing I do is thank them for choosing their profession, and then I caution them about the use of drugs. I tell them what happened with me. I thought I was a smart little kid, smoking pot, no big deal, ha ha ha, munchies, until some drug dealer put a little bit of horse tranquilizer in it because he wanted to interest me in other things that I didn't want nothing to do with. And I explained to them how I got trapped into this, because I'm not a bad person, you know, so to my kids' credits, I mean, like, I don't have to worry about them. They're preachers too. So I don't mind sharing my experience at all.
thank you. Now, it has been a long day, and I think I'll just make a few closing responses. Remember earlier on this morning, we brought forward the concept of the picture of the bow tie, where we had, you know, no access or little access to care and treatment surveillance on one angle, a very small core of people accessing treatment, and then on the other side, patients going on to develop end-stage liver disease. Well, we're going to redress Liver Boy. With the information that we've had today, hopefully we can make change. So what we've done is we've put a tie on Liver Boy. And we're going to introduce him with his tie to be able to access equitable care and treatment for hepatitis C, to access testing, surveillance, diagnosis, prevention, and harm reduction, to access to equitable care and treatment for all patients should be assessed, and to follow up for advanced liver disease, cirrhosis, and end-stage liver disease. So we've been through the archaic ABCs of hepatitis. And again, this was a slide that I presented back in 2004. We've come a long way, but not far enough. So we're going to bring you the virus from the perspective past, present, and future. So the road to success is always under construction. This is one of my favorite quotes from Lily Tomlin. We have to look at hepatitis C from a caring virtue. We need to take the C's that are tattooed on the foreheads of patients living with chronic disease and look at it through compassion, competence, confidence, conscience, commitment, comportment, communication, and collaboration. So again, I'm a real acronym fan, and we work as a team. And all stakeholders should be within our team, including our provincial and federal governments. We work together as a team. Together, everyone can achieve more. So, the power to communicate and the power to collaborate is where we need to be. So, any questions and for anybody in the audience? And what I would like to do is to thank you all for attending today. Thank you.